Okay, so we've been sort of talking it up a bit on Facebook and in our blogs about a little surprise or something that we had to tell everybody. And we thought we'd make a short little video today to sort of let the secret out and tell everybody what it is. So my name's Ryan and this is Chris. And we're going to talk a little bit about minimalism and how it's affected us and changed our lives in just a short time. I'll just sort of say where I'm coming from first, and about 6 months ago or so, I had to move, and I really thought I kind of had the heart of a minimalist before. I always felt like I sort of just had all I needed in life. Problem is that I need a lot, or so I thought. And that's not that I wanted a lot of material things, it's just I did a lot of things. I'm a musician, I'm a snowboarder, a skateboarder, a mountain biker.
Talker.
A bit of everything. So I had a lot of stuff, and I used it all, but I did and I didn't. I had built up a full music studio. I had all sorts of gear for everything I ever wanted to do, and I'd had a really good job at the time. But what I found was the more money I made, the more money I spent, and the more stuff I thought I needed. So when it came time to move last December, I found out I had a lot of stuff, and I mean a lot of stuff. I rented a truck big enough to move a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was overflowing, and we packed it like a Jenga game, and it was filled to the top just with my stuff. So when I moved into a much smaller place, and then decided that Chris was moving in too, it was time to make some changes and get rid of some stuff. And that's when I really began to make the decisions as to what I really needed and what I didn't. So now maybe you can tell them a bit about how you made the decision.
It wasn't really a decision. I've kind of always been a minimalist. I had to sell my house last summer, and rather than hauling all that shit around with me, stuff.
It's okay, you can say shit.
I threw most of it out and got rid of a lot of things and gave away a lot of things, and moved into my friend's apartment, into a tiny itty-bitty little bedroom, hardly the size of my bed, really. So like shit had to go. I don't know, I'm really good at throwing stuff out. It's not easy, but I don't need anything.
So that sort of started both of us thinking, and as we moved in together into a, how big's our apartment now? 450
square feet.
It was 450 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment. We basically just have the living room as half a gym with my weights and both of our bike trainers. The other half of the living room is a desk where she keeps all of her work gear and I keep what's left of my music studio. Our kitchen together and our bedroom together.
With the 2 bikes in the bedroom?
Yeah, even my 2 mountain bikes have made it into the bedroom on our bookshelves now. And then this got us thinking over the last few months. I was working as a carpenter, working 60 hours a week with my commute, and you were working almost the same with your commute, maybe an hour or so less a day.
I've gone at least 11 hours a day.
And we really started to think there's got to be a better way out there. And I'm not really sure how I came across minimalism as it is known now, but just started sort of looking up these things, and I think it was sort of through running, actually. I began to look into minimalist running and how it's basically just the thinnest, smallest, lightest possible shoe you can have, and that's it. And as I began to do this as a runner, I started to think that maybe I could apply this to more areas in my life, and maybe it's more about just bringing just what you need to get the job done with you in life. And it sort of took off from there. I started to look at all the stuff I didn't need, and I began posting it up on Kijiji, which is a local website, like classified ad website.
Craigslist.
Yeah.
I think Kijiji is North America wide.
And started getting money for all the stuff I didn't need. And it was strange because for me, the more I got rid of stuff, the better I felt.
It's a matter of just letting go of the things that you don't use.
And they sort of have this rule, they say, in minimalism, where if you haven't used it for a year or you haven't used it in 6 months, that you don't need it. And And really what I found is it was more loose of a rule than that even. And just as I got rid of stuff, I started to realize that the stuff I thought I still needed, I didn't need. And it wasn't about one big purge, for me anyway. I don't think it's that way with you. It's sort of like an ongoing battle, and every couple of weeks I start to look at things around the house and I go, why am I holding on to that? And previously, even the 2-3 weeks before when I had done a purge, I thought, no, I better hang on to this. But it's as you keep going along, you keep lightening the load. So where are we now?
I don't know.
Well, I
We're
kind
getting
of,
rid of stuff.
but I kind of wanted
I
to
have a
share.
coffee maker for sale if you want to buy a coffee maker. It's a Krups. It's a really good one. I bought it for like $160.
Keep an eye on our posts. I'm sure you'll see all sorts of stuff coming up for sale in the coming months. I kind of thought we could talk a little bit about sort of our plan, our new plan now in life that sort of we came up with in the last few months. We thought, you know, what's the most important thing? It's not just about having less stuff, because less stuff means less to worry about, less stuff to replace.
We seriously have to link to George Carlin's
rant
about stuff.
About stuff.
Because we've said stuff so many times in this.
We should too, because George Carlin does a really good bit on stuff and how people need bigger places to put more stuff, and that sort of sums us up as humans. But it's more than just stuff. What we found out, it's time, and we've sort of been living in a minimal time space, and what we realized is the less that we need and the less space we have to pay for, the less we really have to bring into our house, and the less you have to bring in terms of money means the less you need to work. And we sort of apply this whole mindset to just working less.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of become our goal at this point. So where do we stand?
We want to spend more time together doing the things that we love to do. And
yeah, it's basically what it comes down to.
Working ourselves to the grind for bigger, better, fancier jobs.
Yeah, because I think what we found is
That's not what I want in life.
Just us being together and doing the things we enjoy. I mean, when I'm out doing a run or we're out together on our bikes, it doesn't cost anything other than the initial gear to get there.
It's just, we live happily in our tiny little cabin in the city as long as we're together.
Yeah.
We don't need a house with multiple bedrooms and multiple bathrooms. We just need a small place.
Yep. And the more you need.
We spend the money on the things that we use to make ourselves happy with the exercise and our exercise equipment and our gear, but we don't pay for shit like cable and...
Yeah, well that's a whole nother post I'll get into, is kind of how we've whittled our bills down.
Yeah, that's kind of huge as far as where we're going and where we've come from. And
but the plan that we kind of look at is...
to live on less.
Yeah, it is.
So that we don't have to work as much.
That's right. It's sort of the idea of almost early retirement, or the fact that it's strange because even up until the last year, I mean, we were raised by our parents to believe that, you know, hard work, and we're not saying you should be lazy, but not that working 80 hours a week should be rewarded. There's something wrong if you're spending all your time working just to pay for stuff. And as a carpenter, I was working in a lot of huge homes and seeing people that did nothing but work. And I just stopped seeing the point. What's the point of having the 8-bedroom house if you don't have the time or you're not happy? And none of these people are happy.
The 8-bedroom house to fill all the bedrooms with more stuff.
And you've got to work hard to pay for that stuff and to pay for that 8-bedroom house and the taxes and all the other things that come with it.
I don't want to climb a corporate ladder anymore.
So kind of where we're at now, just because of the position I've been in, I've sort of been the first one able to make the leap. And yesterday I did quit my job, but it wasn't before I had sourced out a new job, so I will no longer be working 60 hours a week as a carpenter. I'm now on a 2-week vacation, the first I've ever had, the first vacation I've had in the last 2 years. And I'll be working at a local outdoor shop. It's really just a part-time job through the summer, and we'll see where it takes me in the fall, but I'll probably be only working maybe 30 hours a week. It's within cycling distance for me, so I'm not going to be spending any more money on gas. My truck will remain parked unless it's an inclement weather day. And I won't be bringing in nearly as much as I used to, but I'll sort of share in an upcoming post how I've scaled my life back to live on the amount that I'll be bringing in. And it's sort of a trick that we're both sharing. There's a lot of things we've cut back on our lives. And I think that's where we're looking to get you next, is working a lot less hours, and or at least closer to home so you don't have to deal with the commute.
Yeah, that's going to be a while for me.
but it is the ultimate goal for the two of us.
To figure out how to stay alive and
yeah, that's sort of the kink in the
without
plan.
benefits, yeah.
With having type 1 diabetes, it's not as easy for you
No.
to just pick up and move like it is. But that's kind of the thing too. We're not trying to claim that this, if you've got a family, there's a lot of different situations out there.
So many different avenues that we need to talk about here
Sure.
as far as our goals with where we're going to, and the fact that we don't ever want to own a big, crazy, expensive house and get buried under a mortgage and bills and property taxes and
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. I don't think either of us are on the route to having a family, and it's not what we want out of life. And
No, so we're certainly not saying this would work for everybody.
No.
This is not. We're not
this
trying
is
to claim
where
this
we
is
wanna
the.
be.
Yeah, this is just sort of our story, and we're just hoping by sharing it with you guys that maybe you'll see the path to your story. Okay, well, we'll check in soon enough and let you know how it's going.